Dennis, since you've repaired many of these sprayers in your career, I'd just like to ask you, how does that valve work? I've always been curious.
Me too. Me too. Early on, I dove into the mechanical aspects of these type of valves. In the operation of a compressed air sprayer, your challenge is, in our environment, applying chemical in a safe manner, and to be able to do so, you've got to be able to actuate a trigger and start the flow and stop the flow of chemical immediately. So we do that in the makeup of this valve body by having the trigger assembly on one end in your hand. The nozzle, of course, is several inches away, and that's actuated by a cable that runs along the barrel in the lance. That cable on its end has a seat stem that's seated or mates into the back of the multi-nozzle holder. So when that valve is depressed, that cable's pulled back, it opens that seat up and allows for the discharge of chemical or the application of chemical safely. So that mechanically is the overview. In the back of the valve body, Joe, we've got a strainer that I'll show you later as we break down the service components of the lance. There's a strainer. That strainer has the tank is pressurized up and through into the valve assembly, all the way through the barrel, all the way to the back of the seat stem. So this whole thing is pressured and then actuated when that cable is pulled back by the trigger. Inside that, or excuse me, outside of that, is a safety mechanism where you can screw this portion, this piece right here, all the way back, and it'll keep the trigger from being inadvertently depressed. So that's an outside safety feature to prevent a misapplication of chemical. Now the back side of this trigger assembly is attached to the cable that slides through the barrel of the lance, and I'll show you how that's attached in just a moment.